guys have been watching me for any time, maybe you have watched one of my videos labeled The Black Rain. And in that video, I was talking about the free agency and the possibilities of what the Raiders are going to do when it comes to the defense. I said that the Raiders needed to go out and get a couple of guys. Namely, was going to be Chris Jones because of two reasons. One, you significantly upgrade our defensive line by grabbing a Chris Jones, and you significantly downgrade our division rival, our main rival, the Kansas City Chiefs, by stealing him. But that didn't happen. The Chiefs were able to re-sign him to a long-term deal, blockbuster deal. Good for him. Hope the Raiders can smash him when in the 2024 season. However, there was another guy that was my second runner-up, and that was going to be Christian Wilkins, and we were able to get him on another blockbuster deal. And wait, but there's more. The Raiders are apparently in talks with a possible trade to grab one star defensive end named Josh Allen. And no, I'm not talking about the quarterback from the Buffalo Bills. I am talking about the dude who put up 17 and a half sacks last year. He is an absolute beast. He's a phenomenal player. And it is absolutely insane. If this turns out to be true, we will have literally $300 million invested in just our defensive line. Now, the fact that we don't have a quarterback in any significant meaning of a contract gives the Raiders the ability to build a super defense. Now, I know I love Malcolm Kuntz. I love how he turned it on in the second half of last season, and I got high hopes for that young man. But there is no doubt about it. When you're looking at a guy like Josh Allen, who we could have drafted and passed up on, coming to the silver and black and lining him up opposite of Max Crosby. And then you got a guy like Malcolm Kuntz who can come in on relief and can play linebacker. You are talking about the scariest, most dominant defense in the entire NFL. And so that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today. Plus, we're going to be talking about Jayden Daniels having an interview with the Raiders. Of course, we knew that was going to happen after his pro day. Anybody who is sleeping on the fact that Jayden Daniels is high up on the list for Antonio Pierce really has not been paying attention this offseason to what has been happening. So we're going to jump into all that and more on today's episode of the Raider D Podcast. And we like to start these podcasts off the same way that we end them, and that's with, say it with me, Raiders. Oh, yeah, baby. It's getting live. It's going to be fun. Gerard Mayo said that they are not opposed to trading out of the third. And so I've been saying this for months, that if we're going to have a trade partner, it's really going to come down to the Patriots, because
got to thank today's sponsor of the channel, and that is Earth Elixir, owned and operated by a Raiders fan. And it is my favorite company because they offer the Tongat Ali and Fedosia agrestis, which has been proven clinically to raise your testosterone without the need of TRT or testosterone replacement therapy. This is all natural, no fillers, no fluff. You get what you pay for, and owned and operated by a Raiders lifetime fan. The link itself will save you an additional 15% just for the Raider D family.
The idea is maybe we trade with Arizona at pick number 4 and grab Jayden Daniels there if he falls. But you're taking a risk if you wait till number 4. I think at number 3 is your best bet. But either way that we do this, if the Raiders are going to trade up, it is going to have to be draft day. We're not going to be able to do it right now because you don't know where Jayden Daniels is going to go. It's quite possible that Washington snatches up Jayden Daniels, right? They've signaled interest in J.J. McCarthy, but they've also signaled interest in Jayden Daniels. So you're going to have to make a draft day decision. Obviously, we'll already have the talks done with the Patriots, letting them know here's our conditional, this is what we're willing to give up to grab Jaden Daniels now. But then you got to wait till draft day, because if he gets snatched at number 2, are you going to trade all the way up to number 3 for JJ McCarthy or Drake May? Now, I know that there are some people who think Drake May is the best quarterback in the draft. If you guys, and I know everybody that's here today probably already seen my interview with Mitchell Rentz, and in that interview, he was saying that he thinks Drake May is the best. I highly disagree. I highly disagree with Mitch on that. Quarterback, I think he is more of a Will Levis than he is a CJ Stroud. So if you're going to say he's the best in the draft, I don't see it. Anytime that I see a quarterback have a regression, and we can blame it on a myriad of things. We can sit here all day and say that he didn't have as good of an offense. He didn't have as good of wide receivers. We could say Jaden Daniels is not that good because he had top 2 wide receivers. At the end of the day, you can make the same argument for Aiden O'Connell, that he didn't have a good offensive line. The run game wasn't running. You can make excuses for quarterbacks all day long. But as Coach Antonio Pierce has said over and over and over again, this is a production-based business. And if you're not producing, end of story, right? So I don't think that Drake May is number 1. I think he's probably number 4, maybe number 3 quarterback that's on the board. So I don't like the Raiders trading up to get a Drake May. If Drake May falls to us at pick number 13, you grab him, because in 2022, he did have a stellar year, and he has the size and he has the arm strength and he has the potential. But if you're trying to trade up, you're trying to trade up for one guy and one guy only, and that's Jaden Daniels. At the same time, coaches made it so clear that the offense runs through Aiden O'Connell. He is QB1 until he's not. And so anybody that comes in is going to have to live up to that hype. So there's the deal with that. I think that at pick number 13, we don't even grab a quarterback if it's not Jaden Daniels. I think you roll with AOC and Gardner Minshew this year, and you see what you can do grabbing a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round, like a Jordan Travis. Now, for example, during me and Mitch's little conversation, he is not big on Jordan Travis. He thinks Jordan Travis benefited from a stellar defense down there at Florida State. Okay, well, we got the best defense in the NFL. You think he's not going to benefit from that here? I mean, I think he's kind of making my point for me. You're putting him in a situation where he's going to thrive. If he thrived in Florida State where they already had a stellar defense, you bring him to the NFL with one of the most scariest defenses in the NFL, if not the scariest defense. I believe once we solidify the corner position, if this conversation that apparently is happening behind doors between the Jaguars and the Raiders of trading Josh Allen, it appears as though maybe they're not wanting to give Josh Allen this big, huge contract. We're talking $145 million contract for him. And the fact is, the Raiders could do it. Now, we'd have to do some restructuring for sure. But I think if you go to Christian and Max, who are the 2 highest paid guys outside of Devontae Adams, and you say, and even Devontae Adams wants a ring. He's already rich. Look, you go to them and you be like, look, man, we want to bring in another top tier, highest touted guy that was possibly going to end up in the free agency. They franchise tagged him, so he didn't. But you go to those guys and you be like, look, we want to build a super team. A super defense. And here's why I think that this smoke. Now, I don't want to just throw out a bunch of crazy rumors for no reason. This is actually being reported. I'm not just coming out of my hat with this stuff, with the Josh Allen stuff. This is actually being reported out there, heavy.com, that there is a conversation going on, and that the Raiders could end up with the defensive end from Jacksonville named Josh Allen, who we, by all rights, should have drafted, and he would be our guy right now opposite of Max Crosby. And who knows, we may have already won a Super Bowl.